So let me go ahead and get into my thing. Paul Heyman, we all know, is one of the greatest on the mic. But again, it's something about this whole dynamic with him and Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker was something that's just not clicking.
As we saw earlier, Seth and Braun don't make a very good team.
Something is just not clicking there, and I alluded to obviously before, but now this kind of shows what I mean on a different level. So check this out. Paul Heyman came out, and for most of us, we would say that he gave one hell of a promo. We would say that he took the intensity to a whole different level, and he's trying to show us sides to Paul Heyman that we don't see on an everyday base. So I'm not going to knock Paul Heyman for that. I understand what he's trying to do, and that leads me to my next point. To the naked eye, it could seem like that was just a great promo from Paul Heyman. But when I look at it and I dissect it, I couldn't help but to feel like that was a little bit of desperation, if I'm being completely honest. And it wasn't Paul Heyman's fault. As I've been alluding to, this little weird group with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker, the dynamic is just off. And ever since WrestleMania, nothing about it has been exciting or organic. Anything that they're doing has seemed forced, and it seems unsure. I've never seen Paul Heyman be so unsure about his role in a group or with the wrestler. I think I said that on one of my last episodes, and now when I watch Paul Heyman come out and give that promo, I felt like the intensity and the things that Paul Heyman was bringing to that promo was sheer desperation.
I'm right! I'm in the right!
And I feel like it's desperation because he had to do that for the sake of the group. Because he knows what I've been explaining. Because I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman knows what I've been explaining. The dynamic is off in that group and the excitement just isn't there. The electricity doesn't exist in that group. And Paul Heyman needed to come out and do something to try to make that happen. And he went crazy like that to Jey Uso. Jey Uso asked the perfect question.
Are you okay?
And to me, that's kind of funny that they did that. Because no, he's not okay. He has to do something to try to get this group going. And we saw what he tried to do to get the group going. And to me, I almost thought it was just kind of sad. Because again, to the naked eye, it just seemed like it was a great Paul Heyman promo. But to a true fan like myself, I know desperation when I see it. And I know that he's trying to do something to get that group going. Because unfortunately, as much as I want Seth Rollins to succeed in this scenario, Seth Rollins hasn't been bringing the type of energy or storyline to the microphone. So now it's almost like they have to try to piggyback off Paul Heyman's involvement, because Braun Breaker doesn't even have a story to tell. And Seth Rollins seems to either be limited or he just doesn't have the right thing to say. Now you had to send Paul Heyman down there as the cleanup crew. You needed to send down the maintenance guy. And when Paul Heyman came out there with Jey Uso and gave that great promo, all I saw was the maintenance man coming down to the ring to try to fix a few things. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to be able to fix this one. Even if they add a third party, because if you really think about it, why would you even need a third guy? You know, not that they can't have a third guy, but between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman, why would you even need a third wrestler? A third wrestler shouldn't be needed. It should just be a nice piece to the puzzle, if that makes any sense. But with this dynamic, you almost need a third wrestler and somebody that's relevant to make this whole thing come together. And again, it's almost a shame. It's almost a shame to see this. Of course, we like to see Paul Heyman at the top of his game. But for me, I almost felt like him giving that type of promo is not going to do anything to further the story. So it's almost a waste of a great promo because it's not really tying into anything for the future. It was just something that talked about the past to try to make something happen with the present. It's just different things that we could do to really make this group feel like a threat. Because when I say the group isn't working, we're talking about professional wrestling. We're not talking about just some guys getting together and just coming out to the ring. We're supposed to be building Braun Breaker for the future, and we're supposed to be establishing Seth Rollins as a star. And Seth Rollins is my guy. I'm a Shield guy. So I want to see Seth Rollins win. So when I say that the group is a failure, I'm saying it because I'm pissed off. because Seth Rollins needs this to work. Seth Rollins needs this to happen